London and Artistic Crossroads is something we came up with kind of end of last year, thinking how can we celebrate London as a great city and an artistic centre. The National Gallery were celebrating their bicentenary this year, and they've sent out 12 works to the regions.
We thought that we would celebrate the National Gallery by doing the exact opposite and taking 12 works of art from 12 different regional museums here in the UK and bringing them here to London so that as many people passing through London can see these masterpieces.
In the UK, we own this extraordinary public collection of art. It is spread across not just the museums, but our universities, hospitals, and other civic buildings. And what we're doing is transforming access to that collection. So anyone with online access anywhere in the world can access that collection 24/7. This idea was put to us, the idea around a small number of extraordinary works that showcased London as an artistic crossroads, but also showcased the treasures that had been found in our regional collections around the United Kingdom.
The artists included in the exhibition came from a myriad of different countries and cities, and they came to London to seek refuge, to take artistic inspiration. But what's so lovely about this exhibition is that all of these works of art are now converging back in London. And through those paintings coming home to London, we're able to actually explore the stories of where those artists came from themselves.
It's really great for the Bacon to go on loan out because it's been to over 20 cities across the world, and I think it's just a great opportunity for people to see it outside of its native, well, not quite native home, but rented home. London's such a great city. I think at the time during the war and kind of interwar period and during the war, there was this real sense of freedom throughout the city because there were men fighting in the war, they were doing their duty. Francis Bacon was one of the men who couldn't fight because of his asthma. So I think the people that were left behind, there was kind of a no rules kind of life going on, and that really suited Francis Bacon. There's great professionals looking after it. They're going to deinstall it, wrap it, pack it into its crates. They will transport it in their fine art vehicle. It will get to London, it will be unpacked in the gallery, and it will be very well looked after, I know that.
It's important for us to be involved in projects like this. It helps the University of Liverpool's profile as an art collector, and also it engages new audiences with the artworks that we hold. One of our star items in our collection is our wonderful Frank Bowling painting called Big Bird. We've had it in our collection since 1975, and it was gifted to us by the Contemporary Art Society, and it was the first painting we got from them. Any painting, it's interesting to see them in different spaces and in different contexts. It's always been out on campus for the benefit of students, the benefit of the staff, for everybody's inspiration, really.
We're so excited to be part of the Artistic Crossroads. Our contribution is the Frank Auerbach, and the collection really talks to that connection between people. What I love about Frank, who's obviously still alive, is that he's a student of David Bomberg, and we have a Bomberg on display downstairs, we have the Auerbachs, we have Leon Kossoff, we have this sort of dialogue of mid-20th century artists coming together and sort of changing the rules with how they created art and the passion with which they wanted to get across their relationships with each other. I love the title Artistic Crossroads because it really captures that essence of what London is for me. During this period after the war, it was literally an artistic crossroads of such fascinating people that generated an energy within the city. For me, that energy created in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, helped bring international attention to the city and become like a positive feedback loop of cultural and economic success. And I think that growth and that combination is absolutely essential. The role of art in the lifeblood of a city and how it's perceived, both by those who live in it and those who want to live in it, is absolutely key.
Although very much an island, the UK has been for centuries an artistic hub, a place in which artists from all around the world migrated and decided to make their home. And it is this mobility of artists and mobility of ideas that really allowed Britain, and London in particular, to thrive artistically in such a way. Thinking about an artist like R.B. Kitaj, the friends that he made in London included people like Frank Auerbach, Lucian Freud, Francis Bacon, David Hockney, Peter Blake. So many major artists of the second part of the 20th century. And I think it is fair to say that this is the spirit of artistic freedom that has made London and Britain a home for the arts.
The RCA has been named the #1 art and design university in the world for the last 10 years running, and people come from all over the world because of that, but also we get that accolade because people from all over the world come here, and there are all sorts of synergies and connections that people can make here by bringing different cultures but also different approaches to their practice. Lucian Freud and John Minton were both very much part of a kind of gang of semi-figurative artists in the 1950s who really encouraged each other and really sort of helped push each other's practice along. They were a very hard-partying, hard-drinking group, lots of notorious stories about them, but they were also, you know, a very sort of mutually supportive group. Freud drew a lot of inspiration from Bacon in terms of the types of brushes that he used, for instance, and there was a lot of kind of overlap. Freud became very close friends with Frank Auerbach, who was another German émigré, around the time that Auerbach graduated from the RCA in 1955. And Freud would say that he really hated being placed in any kind of grand German tradition of old masters. The biggest influence on him was much more his group of friends in London as a very sort of vitalising, very sort of cosmopolitan group who had lots of different ideas and lots of ways of sort of encouraging each other in their practice.
It's a fabulous opportunity for us. It's part of our wider strategy of really putting Burnley on the map. We want to let people know that we're here and to show them what a fabulous place it is to visit. And having this painting, this Sotheby, go down to London and have a whole new audience see it, it's a really great opportunity for us. It's important, I think, to share, obviously, objects and artworks throughout all museums and galleries. It's really lovely to have things move around the country. We often borrow things as well from other places, so it's lovely for our works to go out and about as well. We have such a rich history, and we've inherited and borrowed histories as well, objects from all around the world. Obviously, where people have travelled outside of the UK and then brought things back, that can have a difficult history within itself as we're kind of exploring and talking much more about. But there's so much to see here. I think there's a real love of culture, and it's so important to people. It's part of our health and our well-being to see all these wonderful things.
Just seeing them together was extraordinary, beautifully curated. It's really a gem of a small exhibition, absolutely stunning.